Man, I'm splurting my juices all over this manga. If only there was a cleaner way for me to combine the pleasures of eating with reading manga. Mate, what are you talking about? That totally exists already. Oh, you mean like reading manga talking about food? What?
Food and manga. Never before has there existed a more essential combination. I mean, one is a basic necessity I need to consume in order to stay alive, and the other is, well, it's good to eat every once in a while. And yet, I always have to work hard to strike a good balance between the two. After all, it's probably among the things I spend the most money on in a day-to-day setting, so it's vital to never go overboard and manage my budgeting reasonably. Yeah, I can probably get by just eating bread for a few weeks. Now, with my fate being sealed and my pantries looking like the world's saddest bakery, it's time for me to deal with my hunger in the same way I deal with my crippling loneliness and existential dread. By reading some manga.
This one tastes like botched anime adaptations and misogyny.
There are lots of manga tackling stories centered around the making of food or the food industry. This isn't really anything exclusive to anime or manga, as you can find these types of stories in all kinds of media. Though, I must say that the way food is enjoyed is sometimes a bit unique. Also, the sheer breadth of topics being covered in manga is nothing short of impressive. Wine, ramen, bread, curry, internal organs. If you can eat it, then there's probably an entire manga dedicated to it. Yet, even outside of these culinary-oriented series, it seems like food must have some special connection to manga on a general basis. Part of that perception may come from the fact that, no matter what it is, food in manga and anime always manages to look like a goddamn work of art. It doesn't matter how mediocre the rest of the series looks, once that bento box is out, you know you're in for a mouth-watering piece of art. Gordon Ramsay can eat his heart out, and then probably turn it into a manga if he wanted to. I swear, the engineering behind this box must have involved some black magic in the process. When I went to school, I used to pack a boxed lunch as well. I would neatly fit my bread rolls or sandwiches or whatever into it. Then, no matter how careful my packaging and treatment of it had been, when lunchtime rolled around and it was time to eat, I'd open my box to find what looked like the aftermath of a bread-themed mosh pit inside. So exactly how these bento boxes always manages to look so pristine is beyond my comprehension. Anyway, I feel like I got a bit off topic there, so let me reel it in. The point I was trying to make was that even when it's not the focal point of the series, manga has a tendency to get weirdly obsessed with its depiction of food. It's not just about how it looks either. Many series go to great lengths in order to provide detailed explanations of how the food is prepared, its variations, and even its history. Hell, Oishinbo is a manga which is concerned with pretty much nothing but just that, and it managed to run for 111 volumes and is currently the 10th best-selling manga of all time. If that doesn't speak to the popularity of food manga, then I don't know what will. And these long-winded explanations are not limited to just food manga either. You can find elements of this peculiar trope in lots of regular works as well, like when a series like Golden Kamuy decides to just dedicate an entire chapter to a detailed guide of how to prepare bear meats, because yeah, that's something I needed. I remember that time I was out camping in the woods when I ran into a wild grizzly thinking, damn, Teddy's looking real delicious right now. It's too bad I don't know which sauce to stew him in. It's not too uncommon for a series to provide a recipe for a dish that appeared at the end of the chapter, even when that recipe is just utter nonsense when applied to the real world. There have been times when this has genuinely made me want to try to make the food that I read about, but for some reason I never seem to have the ingredients for it. It's super interesting to me because I really can't think of any time that I've encountered something like this in any other medium. It's such a staple that you can even find it used with no intention of the reader actually ever recreating the dish. Die Dark, Drifting Dragons, and Delicious in Dungeon all go into great detail of how to make food using ingredients that just straight up don't exist. As for why this genre is so popular, you could probably come up with many possible explanations. There might be some historical aspect to it, but I like to think that a large part of it can be attributed to a sense of community. One thing that nearly all of these works have in common is that the food is rarely portrayed as something that is enjoyed alone, but rather as something that is shared between friends or family and that can help bring them closer together. These series try to show off the connections you can make through meals and the importance of small mundane moments like simply sharing a dining table with your family. Some may show off this connection as their main premise, while others may choose to show it off through occasional moments of intimacy. And if you'll allow me to take it in a somewhat bleak direction for a moment, the reason for its popularity may partially come from the fact that this is an element that is missing from a lot of readers' lives. As one gets older, finding the time to sit down and enjoy a home-cooked meal seems to only get more and more difficult for many people. While it's certainly not a replacement for the real thing, these series do have the ability to take you out of the stress of everyday life, if only for a little while. It always brings this warm feeling of nostalgia, seeing a cozy little meal bringing people together. No matter how insignificant it may seem in the grand scheme of things, it always holds its own sense of importance.
And then she just called me insane and left. Didn't even finish her meal. Now that's just crazy. I know, right? It was high quality paper too. Real gourmet stuff, I'm telling you. I mean, what can you do? Some people just can't appreciate the finer things in life, you know? Well, ain't that the truth? Hey, thanks for joining me. It means a lot. I'm glad we get the chance to talk like this every once in a while. Me too, man. Meals always taste better when they're shared, you know? Yeah. This actually tastes really good now that you mention it. Oh yeah? Thanks. I'm glad you like it. Yeah, it has this, salty flavor to it, kinda. I really like how it feels in my mouth. What did you put in it? Oh, I just used this, yeah. I need to wash my mouth.